Hello, I'm Jenny Williams, and welcome to 60 Minutes to Six Figures. Yes, we are 7 minutes delayed, but that is what technology does for us. Sometimes it creates amazing shortcuts, and sometimes it creates long cuts. So, and makes us take a little bit longer to get our tasks done. So I'm so happy to be coming to you today with an excellent topic. Right now we're talking about innovative and creative ways to get your listing sold. The market is so hot right now, pretty much if your house is not selling, if your listings are not selling, it probably means it has more to do with price than anything, because buyers are definitely out looking. So we've got some great ideas for you today. I hope that you have a pen and a piece of paper, or that, if you're tech savvy, you're taking notes with your laptop or your iPad, because we've got a ton of information to share with you today. Some you're going to love, some you're going to go, eh, and some are going to be some classics that you are going to be reminded to use because they work. Before we get started, I want to introduce to you Matt with his new haircut, Matt Johnson.
Hey everybody. I just wanted to say thank you, first of all, for bearing with us through the tech stuff, but we are live, and if you're watching this on the Google Plus page, you can actually type your questions in as a comment right here on the page. I will keep an eye on that. I'll bring the questions to Jenny and our special guest. If you're watching this replay on YouTube, make sure to subscribe so you get not only Jenny's future editions of this Hangout series, but also the other educational videos that she posts in between the Hangouts. So make sure to subscribe on YouTube, and then also check out the website getarealestatelife.com for all the other updates. And I don't know if there's anything that I missed there, Jenny.
Well, the one thing that I definitely want to point out is if you have an innovative idea on how to get your listing sold, Melanie and I would love to hear it. So share it with us, type it in, and have Matt read it out to us, because we're brainstorming here and masterminding so that we can all create incredible value for each other. So, right, Matt?
That's right. That's right. All you gotta do is type it in as a comment. I'll be happy to read them off, and any suggestions from the peanut gallery would be much welcome.
Yes. Like if we missed something, or if you want to elaborate
Yes.
on something, or if you want to just correct me because I'm wrong, then I welcome it. I welcome it.
That doesn't happen, Jenny. Come on now.
Well, so I want to introduce one of my favorite people. And she is a client that we love to work with and support all the way in Texas, from Birmingham. Her name is Melanie Ferguson, and she and her husband own the Ferguson Realty Group and talk about innovative and creative. Melanie, welcome to our Hangout.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much for having me. I am thankful and grateful to be here today, and excited to share with you any tips I could give, and of course take away a lot of information from you.
Well, you are so good at listings, and getting property sold is one of your favorite things to do, and it's pretty much the focus that you've used. All of your real estate experience, you've got creative ways that you package properties. What do you feel like is the most important as far as being innovative or creative to get listings sold?
Well, Jenny, that's a great question, and I always have been telling people all along that one of the most important things you can do to be successful with listings is to care. And I know that's not hands-on and tangible, but I mean, just really care. Care about the people you're working for, care about the good job that you do, care about the hard work that you put in. And if you care, it is going to show, and it's going to show in results with getting homes sold. But I do have several little tips of things that I do, and some of them are very recent, to help get our properties sold. So I'm excited.
Well, and caring is very non-tech savvy. So
yes, we can all do it.
You don't have to be tech savvy to actually care about what you're doing and care about the outcome for your client. So, of course, I love that. You were telling me last week about something that you feel is extremely important, especially because, I mean, you're really, I tell you this all the time, you're a master of going in and repackaging a property and selling expired listings. And one of the things that you have found really helps and works, it's probably a little tip you want to share about, how to make that house look.
Yes. Jenny, we have come up with a new term called pre-habbing, and that is our special term basically for getting the home ready for sale. And of course, we all know about staging, and it always is best if you can hire a professional to do so. But a lot of your run-of-the-mill properties, they just need someone to come in and give them a few pointers. Hey, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on this one thing, but I would definitely consider doing this other thing because you will get a return on it. So what we're offering is a free strategy session for the properties that should have sold but didn't. That is what we specialize in. And we will show them kind of why potentially the home didn't sell and what we can do differently.
Well, and we have been getting, prehabbing copyrighted and trademarked for you because that's kind of your thing. You go in and you get it prehabbed. But also one of the things that you do differently is hire a photographer. They're still in today's world, and we think that that is common sense or a common, marketing strategy, and it's not. You see it over and over that people are still not hiring professional photography. And don't you feel it's needed? I know I definitely feel it's needed. That is not my skill set. I don't know how to set up a photo to make a buyer fall in love with it. Now, copy is my thing. I can write it and make somebody, drool and show up at the door to write an offer. Photography is not my thing. I want to leave that to a professional who knows about lighting, who knows how to make it look interesting, who knows how to not warp the photos and stretch them.
Right.
So you're seeing a lot of luck with that, right?
I am, and I 100% agree with you, Jenny. The photos are where it's at. Pictures sell homes. People sell homes. The price sells home, but you're going to get the biggest price when you have the best pictures and the best person marketing the home. So we have found, of course, I'm being the high D, did everything wrong and just full force went out and paid $1,000 for the best camera that I have no idea how to turn on. And I took it to a few houses, and I promise you, I was there like 4 hours trying to get pictures. I probably took 300 pictures, and then get back home and try to figure out how to edit these pictures just to get a good 25, for the MLS. And that is not a good use of my time. Furthermore, my clients don't want to think that they hired a photographer. They want to think they hired the realtor. So it's more professional. It's a better use of your time to have the professionals come in and do that for you. And any more now, the cost has really gone down. It's gotten very competitive. You're looking at $100 to $150 to have some amazing photography done on the homes, and you can get the drones, you can get the lead-ins on the property, and it just wows your sellers. And my biggest thing for those expired listings is to share with them that the difference between what they got with that last person and what they could get with us with just a few simple tweaks like the photography. One other thing on the photography, and I have an example here. We have started doing, I don't know if y'all can see this, but
it looks great.
We do just our for sale signs are all personalized to the actual property that's being listed, and we take that professional photo and we put it on the front. And those sellers just think that just tickles them. They think that's the coolest thing ever. They get to, it's like looking at themselves in the mirror every day. They get to see their home out in their yard, and it's just a fun little thing that we can give to our people. And you can get that off of any of those sign websites. So.
No, that is a great idea. I've been interviewing home sellers recently. I've been surveying home sellers, and they've all said that they don't want the agent's picture on their yard sign. So to be able to give them their own home picture is amazing. That is truly giving sellers what they want. So I'm like crazy passionate about that. Love that. One of the things too about the photography, 75% of home buyers prefer good-looking photos, and 25% want videos. So we're still in that, need to be that high-quality push for photos. And it's so important to label them, you know, going back on low savvy, that copy, that enticement, it's not about features. People never buy a house because of features. So the MLS is just such your tool because it goes out on IDX to all of the other websites. And to be able to creatively and smartly market a property, you want to talk about what life is like in this home. Every buyer is searching for a feeling. They're searching for some sort of feeling that property is going to give them. It's not about granite countertops, and it's not about a fenced yard. That's why agents get frustrated saying that buyers are liars. They're not. They're seeking a feeling, and it's hard for us to share, how we feel a lot of times. So that's why your description in MLS is so important, to really drag those people in and get them to fall in love with wanting to at least see it. So you've got, right, how are we attracted to other people? First, by what they look like, right? And then kind of getting to know the emotion behind all of that. Yes, we're shallow, Matt. I hear you laughing. But don't tell me.
I would never date someone based just on looks.
Well, I've seen your girlfriend recently, and she is adorable. So, and I'm sure she is very smart. Okay, so let's go into some really creative things. I just talked about how 25% of home buyers like to receive their information in video. So, having really fun video tours, not this stiff, those horrible tours that everybody's got to endure. Make it fun. Make it about one feature of the house. And talk about a lifestyle there. Or what if you brought in and did like a cute little video of somebody actually having dinner, sitting, in the formal dining room, or sitting while, maybe he's making dinner for her, or, whatever it is. Maybe it's somebody like drawing a bubble bath before they get into it, so that you can have like a cute little video series. You're going to get shares. You're going to get a lot of attention on something like that, instead of that same old boring stuff that you see over and over about, this one has 3 bedrooms. This one has 2 baths. Nobody cares about that.
Right? I think if you posted a video of someone drawing a bath, you're just going to get quite the look.
I hired a model one time to showcase this master suite where she actually got into the bubble bath, and we had so much interest in that property, because there she is. We're not saying, oh, relax in your, soaking tub. We're showing it. We're showing how to relax there, what it probably looks like, on her face, how people can relate to that. It's really hard for people to envision certain things, so sometimes you've just got to be able to show them and let them experience it with you. We sold that house immediately, and it went, of course, above asking price on that. Because we got the lady of the house the feeling she was looking for. We were able to tap into that. So, have fun with video, and you can be kind of creative. You could use little short ones about tiny little features. Don't try to fit everything in on one, because, again, that'll make it crazy boring. You and I had talked about, taking over certain neighborhoods, and a lot of times whenever you're able to list a property in a certain neighborhood, you want to try to get another one in that same neighborhood, so you can have, dual traffic. One of the best ways to do that is through having a neighborhood open house, where you're inviting the sellers over to that first one and getting to know everybody in the neighborhood, and let them experience the house. You don't want to say, hey, come pick your neighbor, because they're going to go, yeah, whatever. But when they actually get there at a lunch that you provided, then they're going to start taking pictures, and they're going to start texting them to their friends and saying, hey, you really need to call Melanie and come check this house out, because, I think that you would like that or this. And really getting those relationships talking. Plus, you're getting to know everybody in the neighborhood, and it's a great way to get exposures.
And Jenny, last Sunday I did the video thing, that quick video on Facebook Live, which of course everybody's using, and strolled the neighborhood streets because it's a historical neighborhood.
I loved that video.
A lot of people were commenting on the feed about, oh, this is awesome. Oh, I love old homes and I love old neighborhoods. And so it kind of got the conversations going. And I got a couple calls off of that. So that was neat. And just a small tip, if you are doing Facebook Live, which I'm sure you're going to touch on, they sell this little fisheye that you can get that is a clamp, and you can just simply clamp it onto the back of your camera phone.
Awesome.
And as you have your handy dandy selfie stick, you can walk around and get a huge view of the entire neighborhood. So it's really awesome, and it makes it look a little more professional. This was about the only thing I learned how to use, this and the selfie stick. So.
No, I was actually going to bring that up because, and y'all go to see Melanie Ferguson's Facebook page, and you can see this video that she did. I was watching it as you went live in my living room, and my husband walked back behind me, and he was like, "Where is that? That is so cool," because you were talking about, hey, across the street here is a bed and breakfast, and you were kind of giving us a feel of, you know, what it was like to walk down that street. And I mean, I was ready to buy my plane ticket. It was fun, and I mean, he was too. It stopped him from what he was doing to want to know more about it. So y'all, that's free.
That's free, and then. So the neighborhood thing, and then you were talking about the boring videos versus exciting videos. People want scoop, they want excitement, they want drama. Why else do they watch like Housewives of wherever? I think that I did that one video on, okay, everybody, you know, listen, I am on my way to this appointment with this property that hadn't sold. Last time 2 times, and then I go, no, wait, 3 times it's been on the market, and so I'm going to go tell them how it's done, right? And then I got back out in the car. It was already dark because before that it was light, so they're waiting to hear what happened. I get back on live, and I'm like, all right, we nailed it. We got that listing. I can't wait to tell you guys all about it, and you know, building that excitement and making it like an ongoing story. Of course, I'm not going to do that for every listing appointment, but it was super fun, and the people who were following it, and then that way, when it was listed, I could say, and this is the one that we put for sale, and then when it's sold, I can say, see, when it's marketed right, etc. So.
No, I mean, I think that was so much fun. I enjoyed the pre-meeting and the post-meeting too. We got a little bit of feedback there, Matt. Is it?
Yeah, I think it's probably just from it coming out of Melanie's speakers there. So.
Okay. All right. So we talked a little bit about having like a neighborhood open house or a neighborhood function so that we can get the neighbors in. You never want to have that attitude of just some nosy neighbors came by. Those are future home sellers, and those are future people that can refer you. You want to know these people. So I am a huge fan of big, gigantic open houses. And I don't mean, hey, it's Friday afternoon, these people have been on my behind about this house not selling. I'll just go over there and sit for 2 hours and just make them happy and put a sign up. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, a 3 weeks of promotion for a really big event, and I've tied these in the past to had a pottery show one time, and we filled the street where there was nowhere else to park, and I helped like a young inspiring potter display his work, and so all the newspapers picked it up. I did formal invitations and sent that out, and we had that house completely packed because of his database and the art community who also came out, my sphere of influence, and just people who were just really curious, wanting to know, you know, what is that? I also had art shows, and if you tie anything into a charitable event, then you can actually, like one time I did an event for the American Cancer Society, and we raised $3,000 that night. They sent everything, the invite out to their sphere of influence, their database, who these people show up to support this cause. And not only did I get to meet so many people, the house got exposed to thousands of people, right, who were taking pictures, who were talking about it, letting other people come in. And we also did an amazing deed by raising money. Talk about extra press releases, right? So I'm a huge fan of putting together a reason to show up at a house. If it's already under contract, then that's even better, because then when people show up, you can say, oh gosh, I'm sorry, this one's already sold. Then you have a whole audience of taking that pressure off the sale, showing everybody that how hard you work, and being able to pick up a lot of extra people for your database, and hopefully some people that you can shift into other properties and pick up some extra listings as well. So I'm really big on those, because it gives you a reason to reach out and invite people without that hardcore prospecting. You could make 150 dials to your sphere of influence and say, listen, I'm raising money for American Cancer Society, and I need you to show up. That's much better than, hey, anybody needs to buy? It takes that pressure off. But
I like it.
Yeah, Melanie, you want to touch on a little bit, we're going back to using this live Facebook feed. You're really good at doing that, and every time I catch you online, I want to see, what it is that you're doing. You want to tell people exactly how to go in and use that in Facebook?
Well, let's see. I'm still, learning, but from what I gather, you can only do the live post. You know what? I think you have to be logged in either as yourself or on your business page. But whichever one you're on and you see it works, you'll have the option to put a post in, and then you'll see the little beacon, and that's the one that you push for live. And then it wants you to name a title so that people have an idea of what it's going to be about, and then it'll count down for you before it goes live. You want to be really careful when you're doing these live posts, because when you move around, which is natural what you want to do, it gets all grainy and people can't see what it is you're trying to show them. So it's kind of difficult on the live when you're doing a video tour of the home. Mm-hmm. Sometimes if you want it to be a little more quality, you want to do those as a video that you post later. But the live one is great for, again, capturing the people's attention, and another great way to capitalize on the Facebook Live is to lead people onto it. So say you go ahead in the morning and you type in a post and say, join me tonight today at 3 o'clock. I'm going to talk about this and be in front of this property. And that way people can count on it, kind of like a TV show that they're going to go see. So that's kind of fun.
Now, you're so right. I did a poor job of doing some live ones where they got really grainy. But I did share them anyway because it was excellent value. It just wasn't very attractive. But it won't work through your Pages app. If you've got your through your fan page, it's not working through that yet. So you have to actually log in on Facebook, like if you're using your phone, as a person, and then go to your fan page. Then the beacon will show up on that. It won't through Pages app. So that was something that I learned when I was in Fort Lauderdale recently.
Well, speaking of the problem you mentioned, Melanie, with like the shakiness and stuff, there's a camera that just scrolled across my Facebook feed yesterday. Yeah, it's called Mevo. It comes out at the end of July. It is just a little guy like that. You can set it up on a tripod, or you can set it on a desk or whatever. Not only does it stream directly to your Facebook page and works in coordination with your iPhone, but you can sit there on your iPhone and you can actually zoom in or change who it's focused on. So you could sit there and you could be literally interviewing a home seller right next to you, have the camera here just sitting up on a tripod or a desk, and you could, with your iPhone, actually switch who the camera is focusing on, all 100% broadcasting live.
Awesome. So it's going to be like a Bluetooth item.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. June?
Yeah, ships at end of June or July, something like that. So you can pre-order now and like save $100 on it. It's called Mevo, M-E-V-O. So you just go to getmevo.com. So of course I turned on my my other podcast co-host, and like he's like, "Yep, ordered it."
That's so funny. I've been watching it like a hawk. So with you saying that, I'm like loving it. You know, last week, Melanie, you and I discussed something that is creative and is so old school that my mother actually used to help sell her house. And she is in a small town, and she just wanted to be able to do it herself. I had already moved from that area, and she said, what do you suggest that I do to get this house sold? And I said, write a very, very personal letter about everything that you have loved about living in this house, and send it out to a couple of people that live near you. Well, my mom is very conservative. If I tell one person that they would send it to 100, she sent it to 8 people. You know, and somebody bought the house from 8 people receiving that letter, that love letter, pretty much about her house. And the reason is I told her to put it in an A9 or an A8, like a wedding size envelope, and put a heart stamp on it, and to hand address it like it's an invite, so it would definitely be opened. And she talked about how, you know, she was selling this property. It was a special place, and what she loved about it, how she loved that it was so close to the beach and the waterfront that she enjoyed her walks to the beach, down the beach, and back every day, and just really, you know, what that house had meant to her. And somebody who received the letter brought in one of their relatives who bought the house. We try to make things a lot more complicated than they are. That goes back to show us over and over again it's all about emotions, and the people that are already nearby us in our lives are the ones that are going to help us the most. We already have everything that we need to help our clients. So that's just a perfect example of something that's fun, too.
And Genny, you could also interview them.
Yes.
Yep.
We could do like a video interview, because Melanie and I started brainstorming about this, and you know, we got excited about it. You can interview your seller. You can have your seller write a letter that you leave on the table. A lot of agents do that. I think it would be fun, though, to have that personal touch of a video, because they could send it out to their friends, and you know, we could post that on social media. All of that is free, and it really, really helps the seller. You have to choose the right people to work with on that there.
Exactly.
You really do. Make sure it's not the person that's always interviewed after the tornado.
Wow. That was it's a very vivid visual, Genny.
See?
Yeah.
You created the vision, I created the copy.
Speaking of copy, Genny, you were talking about copy at the beginning of this hangout, and it reminded me that I'm really big on that too, and that's one of the things that I like to bring up to an expired home seller when I'm trying to win their business is that their description is usually not very comprehensive or colorful or anything to benefit them. So I have, and I can share it, Matt, later, however you want to, but 99 luxury keywords that you can use. Now, I call them luxury because I feel like everyone deserves luxury service. But anyway, these are all terms that you can use when you're describing the property, whether it's on a Facebook post or an ad or the MLS. So
Nice. I like it.
Hey, and that's free. So we're all about fun and free, and being creative. So that's awesome, Melanie. Thank you. And when you use certain words like what she's talking about, you always want to think, okay, who's going to buy this house? Who is my target audience? Because it's not important to get the promo out to the entire world. It's important to get it to your target audience. And the target audience for every house is going to be different. And it could be from local companies nearby that you could do Facebook posts directed to exactly, you know, those keywords, or a certain profession. It could be that you stop by there to see if you could bring lunch to some of the employees that, you know, you feel that would be a good target audience for the house, or, you know, some sort of snacks with flyers. You could use very creative landing pages. I feel like this is where we get into really standing out and being different, is if every single one of your houses had a landing page where you could, dig deeper and create more emotion, have those photos on that page of different seasons that maybe sellers have and different parties maybe they had at the house, birthday parties or different experiences that people could see, and always, of course, get a lead capture for that as well. Then you could optimize that to your target audience in different ways by using keywords that could attract them in. That part of it gets a little complicated, but it's really not that hard. And talk about going the extra effort for your client. They will love it. Love it. I've got to cross it off my list. I talked about that.
Hey, Melanie, I'm curious. I have a quick question for you. So when you're presenting kind of your marketing plan, especially to an expired listing, how are you visually showing some of the things that set you apart, like the drone videos, things that you can talk about, but you really need to experience them to kind of understand why it's such a competitive advantage? So are you going in there with an iPad where you can actually show them some of your previous marketing from a past client? And if so, like, how are you getting to that point where they're even letting you in the door to give them an iPad where you have your marketing presentation?
That's two great questions.
Yeah, I know.
The first one, yes, I do bring the iPad, and that is something that I try to keep an offline type of an example that they can see, just so I don't have to mess with all that. And then I also have a hotspot off my phone that I can use anytime. I don't have to worry about using their Wi-Fi or anything.
Nice.
And then as far as getting in the door, that's all scripts. It's all scripts, and we have I love, love, love scripts. I always say, if you're not comfortable with scripts, you better watch out, because your next script might be, would you like fries with that?
Nice. Now, are you using like a pre-listing packet or anything that presents your marketing plan before you show up in person?
If I have time. A lot of these people I call expired. I've learned from past experience, the sooner the better. If I can get in to see them that day, that's awesome. If it's in the next day, that's just as good. A couple days, sometimes they get excuses to not meet with you.
So appointment over process, over pre-listing package or anything like that.
Correct.
Cool.
She is excellent at being able to pick up the phone, call 4 people, and get 3 appointments.
That's a pretty good ratio.
It is. I mean, she's fantastic at it, and it's because she knows what to say, and she's very confident too about, she knows what she can do for a seller. So once scripts become easier because she has a proven success rate over and over again of how she's helped people. So that definitely helps. One of the ideas that I recently heard that I think is tremendous, I love this, is writing down 99 reasons to love and live here. And you can blog post that, you can put that on social media, you can put it on that landing page I was telling you about. You can do so much with that. Really giving people a reason to choose it and to stand out. One of the guys that I interviewed in Fort Lauderdale last week, he works for a company that does Chinese translation and helps Chinese home buyers buy here in the United States. And he said that someone from Seattle wrote like 182 reasons to love and live in Seattle. And 77,000 Chinese home buyers downloaded that information and started flooding that area just because he did this. Now, let me take a little bit further. He wrote in, these are the schools, locally. We have award-winning schools here. Here's the link to check it out yourself. These are the local restaurants. These are my favorite. Check out the menus, right, with that link. Here's the crime rate. Check out this link. So you're really getting a ton of information that I feel is super smart. I mean, you could even limit it to 50 if you wanted to, but that gives you such a reach and such a reason that I think that people would also share. And what a way, again, to stand out to that seller as a part of your process whenever you're at that table. I thought that was a great, great idea.
Nice.
Another thing that you want to be sure that you do to promote your properties is make sure you're on ListHub. with the way that IDXs have changed through MLS services, you know, a lot of us used to go through ListHub. We don't have those contracts anymore. So your broker has to be a part of that, but you can get free accounts, but that opens you up to thousands more sites online. And, you know, you need to be there. And again, it's low cost or free. I would always get the upgraded profile if I could, so that you're doing an extra job promoting that listing. And y'all, you know I talk fast and furious, so you just butt in on English.
I'll butt in.
You go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Go ahead.
Our Facebook posting, just because that seems to be where a lot of people spend their time these days.
Yes.
Even the people who swore they never would, they are.
Or who swear they don't.
Right, right. And I'll tell you, my husband's one of them. He's on my page, so if you need him, you just post something and he'll get it. A lot of people do that. That's fine. But anyway, so we like to have different excuses, because you don't want to just post a house and be like, oh, we got one for sale. So we have different things for each day of the week. And you know how you can schedule everything through Hootsuite ahead of time if you don't want to have to think about it, or you're worried you're going to get busy with business, which is always a good problem. So on Mondays, we have Motivated Monday, which is all of our motivated sellers. If they have given me a decent price reduction, we will promote their listing on Monday as a Motivated Monday seller. And that's going to be my Facebook focus that day. Hey, I just want to let everybody know these people are motivated. They've done this, that, and the other. And we'll pretty much know by the end of the weekend, again, you know, how motivated they are. And then on Tuesdays, we have Turnkey Tuesdays, and that is for my investor database. And those people are going to get listings that day that are highlighted that are turnkey. So they are ready to go in a great area, at a great price point, ready for them to either buy and hold, buy and flip, whatever the situation may call for. On Thursdays, we follow along with the Facebook theme of Throwback Thursday, and I do my own throwback, and that is just sold. So I will highlight what I feel like was a success and make that my Just Sold Throwback Thursday. And then First Look Friday. That is where we always try to list our properties on Fridays, you know, obviously right before the weekend, so they'll be sold by the weekend. But we call it First Look Friday, and that is for properties that are hitting the market that day, and we want to give them an extra push with either highlighting them live or previewing them, something where people feel like they're getting in on the forefront right before, hey, this is going to go out there and it will be sold by Sunday. So contact me now, and that way that still gives us that little window of opportunity before probably that evening when it goes live that I could still sell it myself before putting it on the MLS. Or you could tweak it if you prefer and call it FSBO Friday. And on FSBO Friday, you could make it where you talk to a FSBO, they're a viable listing, but they're just not quite ready to take that jump with you. And so you offer them, hey, I'm going to highlight you on my to my database, and you can still get that 3% if you get a good buyer for that property off of your FSBO Friday. But,
okay. Now y'all know why I asked Melanie to be on this with me. See how awesome she is? Those are excellent tips. And, you know, Facebook is just such a wealth right now because that's where people are spending their time. That's where a lot of our target audience is, and you can target your audience. Now, a lot of the younger home buyers are not on Facebook. Whenever they go to get tagged, some of our clients will say, I tried to tag them and they just weren't on there because they're moving into other forms of social media. But Instagram and you know, the Facebook targeted ads and the boost really work if you have the correct wording and if you have interesting ways to capture attention. Through the right headlines and through the right photos. Again, not to use those same old boring posts. And you could have fun with that because you can also see the stats and send those reports to your sellers. And you can get them involved too, where the seller is sharing it and sending it out, of course, to their sphere of influence. So you always want to tag them or include them in somehow in your social media promotion. My husband, when he's building houses, he tags me all the time. I'll get like 4 tags a day. And people, they'll always comment to me about Jay's projects. Wow, that's a great house that Jay was building over. Like, oh, yeah. So we know people are definitely paying attention.
Yeah.
My husband,
Facebook posts are doing really well for like Jeff Cohn and Greg McDaniel too. I was just interviewing Jeff Cohn the other day, and Facebook boosted posts are one of his top 4 online lead sources. He doesn't actually pay for them himself. The agents just throw $5, $10, $20 at a boost per each, here and there, and it's generated, I think, 2,500 website visits last month and 100 leads.
Wow.
That's wonderful. And just think about if you had that landing page per property, right, where you teased just a little bit, because remember, marketing is all about a process. Nobody goes, oh, I saw your Facebook post, here's my offer.
Yep.
It's a process. Everything with moving is a process because it's an expensive decision. So, you get a little bit of teaser information where they kind of want to know more. If you give them the whole kit and caboodle of everything they ever and never wanted to know about that property, you're never going to hear from them again. So you give a little bit of interest there that will lead them to more interest on your lead page, and if then you had a call capture on it, then you're going to get showings off of it. I hear over and over people talking about boostings and ads, and then I always say, and how many have you shown from it? Oh, well, none. Okay, so this is why, because of the process is probably not being followed completely the way that a buyer kind of likes to move through the process. Now, if you have the right price on it, they'll get through the process a lot quicker. A lot quicker. Another thing that I feel is really important to promoting properties is creative signs and riders that you kind of swap out and you use, because, I mean, Melanie, you know as well as I do that when they see that same sign over and over, it becomes white space like an email. Mm-hmm. People just completely block that out, and we need new colors. We need, fun, attention-getting copy on it just to keep that interaction going so people can pay attention. I know recently I shared, and I should have brought them in here. They're in my copy room. Some riders that I ordered for one of our agents who has a 3-car garage, and the lots, it's new construction on 3 acres. And, that target market, we put a graphic, a really good-looking graphic of a 4-wheeler, and it says 3-car garage. And it's to go on her directionals on the busy road where the guys in their big trucks are up and down all day long. The other side has a bass boat on it and a 3-car garage. Okay, now you got my attention. I got a place for my toys. So we have another agent that we ordered bright yellow, tacky yellow, so it'll stand out, riders that say, hello, good looking. And then another one says, I know you want to see inside. And, so that you could swap these out like once a week. And, people, of course, will do just what you did. Like, they'll giggle the first time they see it, but they're really going to see that you're promoting that property a lot differently.
It's a great idea.
Thank you, honey. The thing is that there aren't going to be a lot of agents that are going to put that effort into marketing their properties. So when you do something like that, people are going to pay attention. That you cared so much about that, that one client that you did go overboard.
Have you ever advised agents to do open houses like during the week for that exact reason?
Yes, in fact, I really want people to start trying an after work open house. I think that if you theme it and you give people a reason to come, that you're going to actually get a lot more traffic because people are so busy on the weekends. I mean, Melanie and I both have children that play baseball, and you know, that's a career.
Yeah.
We're career parents. But she's working hard at the ball field for her sellers by, you know, providing waters and taking care of people there because that's who she is. And again, Melanie, butt in anytime. We've just got a few minutes left.
Okay, I'll butt in.
Good, see?
We invite you to butt in. Come on.
You do not have to beg me to do my favorite thing, which is to chat. And people always say, oh, you know, you really need to work on your gifts, you know, and I have the gift of gab, so I don't even have to work on it. It's always there. So something that we do that is a little different, shift of gears from what we've been kind of talking about, but it's truly everything to do with promoting the listing and getting it sold for our sellers. We've always done this. Every 5 times an agent shows one of our listings, we gift them a gas card. So it's $25, and so it's just our way of A, touching an agent because we have a brokerage and we want to recruit, and then B, thanking them for showing our listings, C, incentivizing them to show our listings when there's a choice of 10 and they want to narrow it down, and D, helping them out because, you know, the gas prices have gone down, but they were really high before, and it, you know, it takes a lot of gas to show a lot of buyers. So every 5 times they get that. We call it fuel for feedback because they do have to give feedback. We're not going to just throw gift cards at them. And then I have a note here. Oh, then we haven't done this yet, but I do plan to do this, videoing us giving the gift card to the agent so that we can use that to show sellers kind of what we do. We already tell them that that's something that we do different because we care. We want their properties to get shown, but we want them to know that we are different and that we have a lot of good friends in the business that are going to help us get their home sold. So.
Well, if
awesome.
I got a gift card from you, then I'd be like, oh, wow, there's one from Melanie. I'm definitely going to, you know, see what I can do about getting that one on Caravan or showings because that was always important to me. When I was selling, I would go through the list. Okay, who works well together and who is a deal killer? So that I could prepare my client up front that, you know what, we're going to have a really good experience if we actually work with these agents here. And whether you tell your client that or not, you know you're thinking it because a listing agent can make all the difference in the experience that your home buyer is going to have. And ultimately, they'll think of negatively about you if you put them through a bad experience. So I would gladly always want to show somebody's house that cared enough to actually send me a gift card. Another thing that I think is really important are follow me ads. I know that they can be a little bit annoying, but I was just talking to a loan officer that came by to see me this morning, and he said the magic words to me, of course, that my day is made, because he said your name pops up everywhere. It's like it haunts me. And what's funny is I tell my clients that I don't want people to be able to escape your name. Everywhere they go, I want people to hear about you, know about you, until it's just so embedded in their brain that if I buy or sell a piece of property, it's going to be with you. And those follow me ads do that. So you have to have an enticing, they've got to click on it the first time. So it's got to be, you know, somewhat enticing, and then you can use a service called AdWorks that can do that for you. But I can tell you they work. When I go and do shopping, online shopping places, and I'm, you know, looking at a recipe on something else, and that same thing follows me over there, I'm like, that's right, I forgot they're having a sale. It works because it never leaves your mind. It never actually escapes. And you talk about working for your seller 24 hours a day, that is a great way to do it. Another I'm still a huge believer in old school property flyers, because you can put all of your modern techniques and bells and whistles on that. That is like your mini billboard for people, and they love them. They still love to walk up, pull the paper, and run. They do, right? They like
That's
it
true.
better than.
I do that on the FISBOs.
See, it's fun.
I sneak up there and I get their little thing out of their tube and giggle.
Well, yeah, you're like, you scoot across the yard and you look around. I mean, everybody has the same kind of pattern that they follow.
Or you make the kids get out and get them.
Yeah. That's right. Got to put them to work.
Yeah.
Well, you can have all of your either, how Melanie, you and I believe in IVRs, and like Arch Telecom or ProQuest or several different services. Going old school and having that call capture. But you could, if you use a text service, you can put that on there. If you even just put your testimonials or your buyer savings or other properties you have. This is golden for you to use for your property. And again, don't put all the crap nobody ever cared about or never wanted to know. Don't put square footage, and don't put the price and the bedrooms and the baths and all that, because you got to get them to call you. You can't sell something from a flyer, so you have to make it enticing. And what else do buyers want to know, right? They want to know, about other resources that you could offer as an agent. So I'm a huge fan of that, and huge fan of having all of the properties on all of the flyers, so that I can even take that and take it to businesses. And it might be a little old school, but I can tell you it works, and I'm only interested in what works and what doesn't. The last thing I want to say about being creative, and you and I could go on forever with this, is you can make these little business cards for each of your properties and give them to your sellers, and then those are really easy. Sorry.
Joys of living in a small town.
That's right.
No, it's wonderful. But you can make little business cards of your properties and put those out. You can even make little little cards that you could even forward, like contact info, to other people as well. You could use voice blast to promote it. You could, every time you get a new listing, you could actually voice blast it out to everyone of your sphere of influence and say, hey, I just picked up this incredible new property. Who do you know that would like blah, 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 right? And fast, furious, all those people get a voice message. It costs hardly anything to do. I mean, we're all about low budget and high reach. And the last thing I would say is being able to promote it by email. We hadn't even mentioned that, which is great, because email has lower than a 30% open rate. But you can, if you do it correctly, you can send something fun through like your MailChimp account or Constant Contact to really promote, and then you could use that link to your landing page that I talked about. So,
and you should be gathering agent emails, so not just your own personal sphere of influence, but yeah, every listing you go out that you have should go out to the other agents, especially if you can narrow it down to who you think you actually might want to work with, or who has buyers that you think might be good for that specific listing.
Well, I will have to say that how what I actually teach the clients to do is take and have a VIP exclusive event just for agents that have qualified to sell in that neighborhood or that property, because you're going to get people there. Otherwise, you send me too many emails, I'll be like, hey, I look at MLS every day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to see your emails. Because I look at the hot sheet. I study it every day. You know. But there's a fine line. There's a fine line in not going
you can't just load up the entire MLS of agents and blast away every time you get a new listing. Please don't do that.
Yes, that's right. And there are services, is it Zip My Flyer, Zip Your Flyer, something. There are services you can use to do that, but and it will reach everyone. It's just that when an agent gets 10 of those in a day, then it's not really promoting it creatively or innovatively like maybe it once was. So am I missing anything, Melanie? Any last minute things you wanted to add?
I can't think of anything.
All right, tell everybody your email and your phone number so that they can send all their referrals to you.
Okay, and I'm actually in Denton County, and then the surrounding counties here because we're in what we call Little D. It's close to Dallas, and Texas. And my email is melanie@fergusonrealtygroup.com, and my cell phone is 972-672-3341, and that's the best way to reach me. It's always on.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. And as you're watching this today, if you truly want to learn how to be a better listing agent, then join us for our Certified Home Marketing Expert course, where we're actually getting CE and designations for that. We'll be traveling in cities across the country. And of course, our first one is Sweet Home, Alabama, Birmingham on May 11th. And you can look at 2cedays.com. That's the number 2cedays.com if you'd like to register for that, because it's going to be enlightening and a whole lot of fun and give you a lot of shortcuts. So, Matt, as always, thank you. You're amazing.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys. Well, with that said, make sure to check that out, and we will see you guys next month. I know we're a little bit delayed this month. It's usually on the second Monday of the month at 1 p.m. Central, so watch out for that next month. We'll have another great guest, another great topic. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye.